Good afternoon, folks. Tonight, we're going to have a little bit of a better special about thunderstorms. But it might be for another time. I'm not sure. I'll have to get a little more information about certain tornadoes that occurred a long time ago. But we all know what a tornado is. They've caused lots of damage throughout their careers out here. And we all know how they happened. But how did they occur? That's the main question. Well, I'm gonna give you a little education on that. Well, first off, we all know you need a thunderstorm. Let's talk about how thunderstorms occur. First, you need warm, moist air. Warm, moist air comes out of the Gulf of Mexico. Then comes out of the Gulf of Mexico. And cool, dry air comes from Canada. Those two collide, you get thunderstorms. That's how you get thunderstorms. Then, to fuel it up more, you need heat and high humidity. Temperatures need to be just right for all that to happen. 60s. Sometimes thunderstorms have occurred in the 60s, which tornadoes have occurred in the 60s, which happened to appear just the other day. Down south of us, down in the Athens area, supposedly. But you need high humidity, and then that there is enough just to cause severe thunderstorm right there. And plus you add up, but mostly, and then also that you need to get rotation. But to get rotation, you need to get wind shear come from two different directions. Wind shear come from one direction, and wind shear come from another direction. What happens with that wind shear? It begins to rotate, because once they collide, the wind's got to go somewhere. And when they collide, that pretty much makes rotation. It makes rotation right there in the middle. Once they meet right there in the middle, that makes rotation. That's a big old long tube of rotation. And then the updraft occurs of wind of updraft. Forces the rotation up into clouds. Up right into the clouds, which forces more rotation into and plus you already have a thunderstorm, so that causes the thunderstorm to spread out into an anvil, which is like angles from both sides of the storm to spread. And you have your strong rotation, which is a mesocyclone, which is pretty much a supercell. And then you have another cloud of a shelf cloud on one side and a wall cloud on the other. All rotating. But on the other side of the shelf cloud, where the wall cloud is, you have your wind, and on the other shelf cloud side, you have lots of rain, lightning, and thunder. Typical of a thunderstorm, right? Sounds like your typical thunderstorm. But not the shelf cloud part, or the wall cloud. What happens is a new second part of rotation starts occurring, coming down, which begins to form a funnel cloud. Which is technically, once the tornado hits the ground, once the funnel cloud hits the ground, it's officially a tornado. And yet, there's been 1,200 tornadoes that have occurred throughout years. And yeah, it is sad. I can name off literally almost lots of tornadoes. The Tri-State Tornado of 1925, costing hundreds of people's lives. 15,000 people's houses destroyed. One of the most destructive tornadoes in history. But yet, over 700 people died. But even in the Ohio Valley, there was lots of tornadoes, and you got the 1974 super outbreak. Over 148 tornadoes yet alone formed during that time frame. But that there was just a single super. That there is how you pretty much will get a tornado. You need wind coming from two different directions to form rotation. But I mean, to get later on tonight, most likely. I mean, I'm not sure, but maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'll have to see how well I come up with all these outbreak of tornadoes out in history. But to make a history of tornadoes, they can go way back in the day. Back in 1884, the first ever photo taken of a tornado was back in 1884. They were once thought to cook potatoes in the ground. I mean, that was what I heard a long time ago. I was uninspired by a tornado. One time it was really nasty out by my house. I actually saw rotation in the cloud, and I started seeing the funnel cloud form right in front of my house, but it never touched down. Didn't touch down. It was at least the length of a football field, like the track. 400 meters round across. At least. It was a monster funnel cloud. We all got down in the basement, and it was pretty much a big monster storm. That was back in like 99, I believe. I was still in school. We were there, and literally, it was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. I'm not sure if it ever actually did touch down or not, but it was one of the most scariest moments ever I can ever recall. And then another time when I was heading to work about 3 years ago, I was heading to work. I had no idea a tornado even touched down in Lancaster, in my hometown of Lancaster. I was heading to work and tornado touched down. I saw over Facebook, tornado touchdown. I'm like, dang, did that really happen? And everyone just went about their business like nothing really happened at work. And no thunderstorm, no lightning or thunder was happening. It just seemed like a normal day, and just a tornado appeared out of nowhere. That can happen too. It doesn't even have to lightning or thunder for that to even happen. It can just appear out of nowhere. That's literally how they also occur. They're just strong thunderstorms that can just appear out of nowhere without either the lightning or thunder. They can appear out of nowhere and just start spinning up and just cause destruction without notice. They can come in several categories. Enhanced Fujita scale. EF 0, which is like very small, minimal damage, to EF 1, which is semi damage, which is a little bit more damage. EF 2, which is quite a bit of damage. EF 3, lots of damage. EF 4, significant amount of damage. EF 5, total destruction, which is what some towns we're going to talk about when I have time. I'm not sure when I'm going to have time. A lot of these towns back in the day had some destruction. But not too long ago, there were some storms that I can remember, like Greensburg, Kansas, which was total destruction. Joplin, Missouri. And some towns, and they were wiped right off the map, like they don't even exist. And some towns were wiped totally off the map. They didn't even have the money to rebuild. Like in South Dakota. Now, north of South Dakota, I don't recall. I'm got to look that town up. It was Havana, I think. I'll have to look that up. I'm not really sure. I have to look that one up. But if you like this video, hit the like button and hit the bell for notifications. Like and subscribe. With that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.